So where does sugar come from? Very simply, sugar comes from plants. Every plant in the world, every green leafing thing produces sugar on a regular basis. Any of you who might have eaten spinach or kale might find this surprising, but yes, every plant survives on sugar. In fact, sugar is the basis of all biochemical life on Earth, or most biochemical life on Earth. It starts out with the plant absorbing CO2 from the air, the very thing you breathe out. Then the plant uses chlorophyll and sunlight to convert the CO2 into glucose, fructose, sucrose, and oxygen. Every leaf, every blade of grass in the world is doing this all the time. Why don't all leaves taste sweet then? Partially because our taste buds can't taste the small amount of sugar that's in these little plants, and partially because there are other stronger flavors in these plants. But every plant in the world does have sugar in it. Now, but where do we get our table sugar from? It's really quite simple. There are a few plants that produce a lot more sugar than the other plants. We've taken these plants and we've bred them over many, many generations, changed them to produce even more sugar because we like sugar. An uncle of mine used to work on a sugar beet plant. Now, you may not think that beets taste very sweet, but this is a special breed of beet that was bred to have a lot of sugar. They dig them up, grind them up, and get the sugar out of them. Some plants store a lot of sugar in their stems, like rhubarb. You may have had rhubarb pie before, but I think we're most familiar with the plants that store the sugars in their fruits. You can find blackberries, cherries, grapes. These are all very high sugar plants. Now the reason is that these plants want their seeds to grow up to be big healthy plants. So they coat the seeds in sugar to give the seed plenty of sugar to eat. Then there are other plants that keep plenty of sugar in their stems and leaves, such as sugarcane. Sugarcane grows just like any other grass, and it's probably the biggest source of table sugar that you'll find. As we went over in the chemistry class, these plants make glucose and fructose and then bind them together to make sucrose. A lot of the sugar that we get on the table is sucrose, but the sugar that you get from most fruits, like grapes or strawberries, is fructose. And again, the plant doesn't want you to have the sugar. Plants are kind of selfish. They want their baby seeds to have the sugar to grow into big old plants. That's why they put that sugar out there. Now, these aren't the only kinds of sugars. There are actually 8 essential sugars, but these are the 3 big ones and the 3 we'll be talking about. They're found in everything from apples to grapes to strawberries. Some plants have a lot higher sugar and some plants have a lot less sugar. For instance, blueberries are highly valued by doctors because they taste sweet, but they don't have very much sugar. And then there are some plants that have even less sugar, like the lemon. So that is where we get our sugar. Let's move on.
I can